Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Fulton, in 2017, you were quoted by the New York Times, and I have the article right here, saying, quote, "What people fail to understand is that chaplains give up some of their rights as ministers when they become military chaplains." Now, the DOD policy for chaplains doesn't say anything at all about this. In fact, it says, I believe, quite the opposite. It says, and I'm quoting right now, and I'm going to ask this to be a part of the record, that if a chaplain is unable to support a specific request because of his or her religious endorsing organization's teachings, chaplains all have these procedures that they go through with organizations. Then the chaplain must offer referral to another chaplain or professional. Now, first of all, I would ask the question, do you still stand by your statement?
Senator,
The quote I'm talking about is the quote where you said that what people fail to realize is that chaplains give up some of their rights as ministers when they become military chaplains.
Senator, I was referring to, thank you for allowing me to clarify. I was referring to that clause where a chaplain is required to find support for that individual one way or another, either support them themselves or find that support, whereas, a civilian could turn someone away and say, not my job. And our chaplains are bound and do a remarkable job addressing all of the needs, one way or another, of our service members.
Well, Ms. Fulton, that's not as I would understand the context that we were talking about this, but let me ask you, do you think that are some of their rights, are there any of the rights that they've given up in the context that we would look at those rights?
Senator, I think anyone who wears the uniform of this country has certain constraints on what they can say in public, and certain requirements to serve others and to serve without regard to some of whatever personal feelings they may have. So in that context, I would say, our chaplains do a tremendous job serving everyone, but that may take them...
And my time is disappearing, as you well know, right now. Let me just ask you, do you intend to change any of the longstanding DOD policy regarding the rights of chaplains to minister in accordance with their tenets and their faith? Just no, yes, Senator. Or no?
No, Senator.
Okay. You have referred, and I have several documents here I can use, to conservative people primarily as radicals. Do you consider me to be a radical because I don't support abortion?
No, Senator.
All right. Ms. Henderstein, and thank you for giving me that.
Thank Meatloaf.
I appreciate very much. Last month, the International Atomic Energy related a report stating that Iran's refusal to allow inspectors access seriously compromised the agent's technical capability to monitor Iran's. I think that I join the chairman in just wanting some clarification in terms of your feelings about Iran. And I would, when you did explain this thing on reversible, but I'd like to have you elaborate just a little bit there on that, because it's my understanding that you feel maybe you know some things I don't know, and I'm hoping you're right and I'm wrong. But how do you see that as reversible?
Senator, thank you so much for the question. Let me state unequivocally that I am extremely concerned about Iran's nuclear program and about the progress that they've made, in particular in the last few years. I've been paying attention to Iran's nuclear program for more than 20 years, and if confirmed, I would expect that it would have a high priority for me going forward as well. Regarding the question of reversibility, I think it's important to separate the technical reversibility related to the equipment and materials. We can downblend uranium, we can remove, uninstall put in storage or even destroy uranium enrichment equipment. And that's, I think, important to note when we ask ourselves, could Iran come back to the technical constraints of the deal? Those activities are possible. But I will also say that the knowledge that they've gained in the last few years is not reversible. We can't eliminate knowledge and experience. And so I do believe that if confirmed, I would need to understand how their basic capacity has changed and whether there needs to be any change to our approach to accommodate that. And I would note that Secretary Blinken even just said this last weekend that the terms of the JCPOA at some point will not be sufficient to recapture the benefits of the agreement because of the progress that's made. And I would agree with his statement and seek to understand more if confirmed.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. My time has expired, but I would like to, if you are confirmed, have an opportunity to visit with you at some length and we could exchange some ideas. I would appreciate that.
I would appreciate that too, Senator.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And, Mr. Chairman, I wouldn't have any questions for Dr. Honey. He's going to be in good shape. I can't think of a better team than for him to be with in Heidi Shue, and I look forward to working closely with him. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.